If you are familiar with the bizarre and peculiar tale of Nigerian men and women who have tried to carve a niche for themselves in the powdery business of drug trafficking, then the title, epithet, and name of Toyin Igbira will not sound surprising to you. She is the most notorious drug baroness in the history of Nigeria. Of all the female scorpions in the narcotic business, none come close to Toyin Igbira. She is by all means the grandmother of cocaine business in the history of Nigeria. Her name first appeared in the radar of the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency in 1994, during the era of the Nigerian kleptomania and dictatorship leader General Sani Abacha, who was busy exporting Nigerian wealth to Luxembourg, Switzerland, and other European countries, so he did not really have time to attend to domestic issues. Numerous elite businessmen and women who have galvanized their wealth dated back to the 1980s got their head start from the cocaine and narcotic business. And that is why I usually laugh when I see some of them out there preaching integrity and hard work. Nigeria did not just acquire some of our reputation today. We have people like Toyin Igbira who add to the jar and tar that is staining the country as of today. Toyin Igbira was more than ready to use a slim and thoroughly bleached body to obstruct justice, morals, and ethics. Mama, as intelligent and crafty as she was, the year between 1997 to 2000 was one of the worst periods of her life. And it's also remained one of the best history of the NDLEA. So what are you doing right now? Can you please spare me a few minutes of your time? Let me sharply break the integrated stories. Even if you have heard it before, let us dissect it from another perspective. How far me change that sound? In 1994, she was introduced into the smoking business of drug trafficking by one of her friends known as Fatai, who is now dead now. Fatai was dating one of her friends known as Kudura, so both of them came to Nigeria. They went to meet her and told her that she should invest in one particular business. And the business is that there's a drug that is meant for horses. And if transported to the UK or USA, she's going to make a huge profit. But she invested in the business and later on they gave her own profit. It was later on they opened up to her that it was cocaine and heroin business. And that is even more profitable than her textile and clothing business. She increased her frequency in the drug business, which was more profitable than the clothing and textile business. It was a clothing business that she used to camouflage, so she expanded on the American soil. Her brother was also working with them, and they also have a base in Chicago. That is the person that usually takes the delivery and the consignment. He was working in an hotel as an housekeeper, but his major work was to be dishing cocaine and heroin to hopeless addicts in the United States. Toyin Igbira will instruct Akingba to sell 1 kilogram of cocaine for $9,500. He would then add his own profit and sell it for about $12,000 as per Omogbon making his own profit now. Wàhálà bá bẹ̀rẹ̀, ẹ má bínú pé mò ń sọ Yorùbá. Fight broke out in 1997. Fight broke out in 1997 when Akingba said 5 kilograms of heroin were being stolen from his car trunk. Stolen báwo? He had to quickly inform Toyin Igbira brothers and sisters. He did not even stop there. He had to also call her husband to inform him of the situation on ground. He knows how ruthless drug baron and baroness are. So he had to quickly go to the airport and head straight to the West African nation of Nigeria to go and meet Toyin Igbira. Immediately he got to Lagos, he had to go straight to Lagos Island to go and explain to her. He quickly head straight to Lagos Island so as to go and explain to Toyin Igbira that the 5 kilograms of heroin were being stolen from his car trunk. He said, I didn't know who set me up, but the vicious spirit that dwelled in the dark heart of Toyin Igbira ensured that all the explanation given by Akingba gave and felt their fears. To tell you how rotten the NDLEA was, Alhaja Toyin Igbira got across to one of her friends that was working with NDLEA to tell the person that Akingba had been involving in drug trafficking. So January 18, 1998, the NDLEA launched a commando attack on Akingba and they arrested him on that fateful day. But unknown to Alhaja Toyin Igbira, the NDLEA was working silently and they are also spying on her. After days of intense negotiation, they tell Akingba that he should return 25 million naira for the missing drug. He screamed that he does not have such an amount of money, and they told him that he should vomit an initial amount of 5 million naira. So he told them he was going to sell some of his cars in order to be able to recover part of the money. It was after this incident that the NDLEA also arrested Alhaja Toyin Igbira. But she's a woman with a heart of steel. Despite the military junta, she was confident. A woman with a heart of steel. And despite the military junta, she was confident. In fact, during the Atlanta 96, she engineered everything and also have a willingness to smuggle her drugs under the national sport to tell you how daring she can be. Toyin Igbira was a lady with an immense wealth, Buje Budanu, the one with a deeper pocket. Thanks to Toyin Igbira, many drug deals were being facilitated through her help. To cut the long story short, she escaped justice in 1999 alongside with 5 others. She was personally and physically shelled by Abdulkadir Ujega alongside with 5 others. In fact, he personally drove her out with his own car. He pained the NDLEA that time. He really pained them. They were also waiting for another day. So the NDLEA nabbed her in 1997. They did not only cage her, but they also impounded her properties. Desperate to enjoy liberty, she resorted to the oldest trick of seduction towards Malam Samuel Bashir Gazama for a mind-blowing session of a passionate intimacy, but unfortunately, it did not work. Just as the NDLEA predicted, she did not become repentant. She immediately resumed her drug trafficking business. However, their paths crossed again. Yes, she got to see her whole enemy. After trailing her for 5 years since 1997, they finally caught her on November 15, 2002 with 72 wraps of heroin. She tried to evade this arrest, but she was caught. And she was being paraded by the NDLEA and also the journalists. And that was how a lot of people got to see her, and that was how a lot of people got to know the name Alhaja Toyin Igbira. In 2019, Alhaja Toyin Igbira died of ovarian cancer, which was diagnosed 10 years before her death. She aged 56 and she was a mother of 3. So in February 2019, she died in a private hospital in Surulere. And before her death, she had an initiative plan, which she planned her own funeral by herself. You see, that drug cartel is a very big, huge industry. Even people that are not taking drugs were also investing in this industry. So that is the short story of Alhaja Toyin Igbira, a notorious drug baroness in the history of Nigeria. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more stories. Thank you, and see you some other time.